Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our program. Have you seen this book? Can we get a shot of this book? Does that book look familiar in any way at all? The title is It Takes a Village. I was going through the audience briefing prior to the beginning of the program, ladies and gentlemen, as I always do, and a member of the audience held the book out to me and said, does this look familiar, just as I did to you? And I thought, somebody's bringing in a joke here, and I didn't know quite how to respond to it. I said, yeah, it says it takes a village. And he said, yeah, but does it remind you of anything? I said, of course it does. Turns out that this book is a real book. This is not a TV prop. This is not a trick. This is not a fake. We've checked it out, ladies and gentlemen, in all of 5 minutes before this program began. There is the woman who brought us the book, right there. She is she is a children's librarian. So what I was doing here while the show was just beginning, I wanted to look at the copyright date. 1994. This is just a little over a year, maybe 2 years old, and it is the same title as this book. It Takes a Village, Hillary Clinton's supposed masterpiece. Now let me find the copyright date of this rip-off. Here it is, 1996. Now, I have not read, of course, this It Takes a Village, because this was just handed to me mere moments ago. The librarian who brought it says that it is, the story in this book is a much smaller book, of course, but the story in this book is just, in fact, this book has copied more than the title, folks. Apparently, the theme of this book is the same as the theme of the one you're looking at on your right. We have, dare I say the word, I mean, plagiarism here. I mean, at least the title. We've got, I mean, we must be bold. The author of this one, the first one, the original, the one on the left there, is Jane Cowan Fletcher. And the author of this one is not Hillary Clinton. She had a ghostwriter who she didn't credit. So, madam, thank you very much. We will return the book to you so that you can return it to your library. All right. I'll tell you that this is amazing. We've got to look into this. We really have to look into this. How are they going to say? Don't forget, this is the same bunch of people. This is Mrs. Clinton, who was over in New Zealand not long ago, just last summer, and she told the people in New Zealand she was named after Sir Edmund Hillary, which is a real problem for her because Sir Edmund Hillary was unknown until 7 years after her birth. I mean, he didn't climb Mount Everest until long after she was born, and nobody knew about him before then. The same like Clinton. Clinton said when he went up to see the Democrats for the Iowa caucus, he went up there and he said to them he's been following the Iowa caucuses all of his life, and they've meant so much to him throughout his entire life. The problem was they only started these things in 1972. Clinton was born in the 40s. And now this. So, I mean, yeah, look at that. That is just absolutely incredible. And still the people talk about how marvelously thoughtful and sensitive and caring she is about the children, you know, the children. She doesn't care about authors of original works and stealing from them at all. Okay. Now, my friends, you will remember this. This is from April of 1994. Rush Limbaugh meets with space aliens. I still don't know how this story got out. I don't know. These people, I met with some space aliens at a secret estate in New Orleans. There are pictures here, and these people asked me to run for the presidency. It says up in the upper right-hand corner, extraterrestrials urge talk show host to run for president in 1996. I told them that I didn't want to give up the power that I have now and that I wouldn't do it. Well, the same publication, ladies and gentlemen, a month ago, has made another discovery. There is an Islamic Rush Limbaugh knocking him dead in Iran. Now, listen to this. A radio talk show host who's been nicknamed the Islamic Rush Limbaugh is fast becoming one of the most popular figures in the nation. Bearded, bespectacled Mahmoud Ajiman pokes fun at feminist nuts who refuse to wear veils, blasts lily-livered liberals who want to soften strict Islamic laws. He's 52 years old, never appears in public without his trademark automatic weapon. Has an audience of about 5 million. His live appearances are sold out around the country. He slams Western leaders, referring to President Clinton as the hamburger-eating spawn of Satan. House Speaker Newt Gingrich as the orphanage-loving fat boy. And Gulf War hero General Colin Powell is the mad bomber of the desert. So I just thought you'd like to know we've got some competition in Iran. Now, we have, look at this, my friends. He has, in certain appearances, he has his own line of neckwear. Oh, man. This is too... Too much fun. All right, I have a story here, ladies and gentlemen, from the Memphis Commercial Appeal. Now, a number of you, I happen to know this because I've talked to you on the phone in the radio program and I've read letters to the editor. I know a number of you have been worried that the judicial system was headed for big trouble, primarily because juries, even armed with confessions or overwhelming evidence, seem incapable of bringing in guilty verdicts. But today, thanks to a small news article from the Memphis, Tennessee Commercial Appeal, there it is now. It was sent to me in the mail. I can assure you that the judicial system is not headed for trouble. Here's the story. A fourth grade class from the Lausanne Collegiate School visited a criminal court to hold a mock trial so these young kids, skulls full of mush, could learn about the judicial system. The defendant in the case was a well-known wolf, the big bad wolf. Now, you know, how many of you are not familiar anymore, since you're adults, with the story of the Big Bad Wolf? No hands go up. This is a good sign. Big Bad Wolf was accused of stealing Little Red Riding Hood's basket, the one with the goodies in it for Grandma. They found a kid in the school to play the wolf. There he is now, Seth Martin. He dressed up in a wolf costume. He played the part. He took the stand in his own defense. He told the jurors, yes, I'm a wolf, but I'm not a bad wolf. He claimed that it was not he who stole the basket. The perpetrator was his evil twin brother, whereabouts unknown. This kid gets on the stand and says, I didn't do it. The fourth graders in the jury bought it. There's no dispute here. The story of the Big Bad Wolf is the story of the Big Bad Wolf. There's no argument about it. The wolf did it. There's never been any argument about this throughout history, but the wolf did it. But the kid gets up there and lies, says, no, it wasn't me, it was my twin brother. I don't know where he is. They failed to convict the Big Bad Wolf. The trial ended with a hung jury. So you see, the judicial system is not headed for trouble, folks. It is in trouble, and it will be for at least the next 20 years or so. Now, as for this kid, Seth Martin, Seth, you obviously have the ability to tell convincing lies. Now, Bill Clinton will not be president forever. Think about it, Seth. You could have a career in the White House right around the corner. We'll be back right after this.
You have a house. I see children, maybe boy, maybe girl, lots of family, lots of friends. But wait, I don't see any life insurance. Are you out of your mind? Why don't you have any personal life insurance?
We feel we can't afford it.
You can afford it. Simply call 1-800-495-LIFE to find out how much protection $15, $20, or $25 a month will buy for your family. From Medicare tailored terms.
I'm glad you called, because for $20 a month...
If you're not protected, why? When for just a few dollars a month, you can have the security of a Medicare tailored term. Call now. 1-800-495-LIFE. 1-800-495-LIFE for your free telephone quote.
Now I see entire family protected. I see smart decisions. I see a Medicare tailored term.
The average funeral today now costs over $4,000. But the most Social Security will pay your survivors, if they qualify, is only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the balance. That's why the Peace of Mind program was formed. It relieves families of the worry, cost, and confusion over funeral details.
It's good to know my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
I remember having to plan my dad's funeral. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
With the Peace of Mind program, there is no physical examination required. Your rates can never be increased, and you cannot be canceled.
As a funeral director, I've seen what funerals can do to families, both emotionally and financially. That's why I recommend the Peace of Mind program.
When my husband passed away, if we didn't have the plan, I don't know where the money would have come from.
I didn't have to worry about anything. Everything was taken care of.
I don't want my wife or my kids to have to go into their savings for me.
If you're between the ages of 50 and 80, call to get free information about the Peace of Mind program and its benefits. Don't put it off. For free information, call the toll-free number on your screen.
To get free information about the Peace of Mind program, call 1-800-223-7600. Call now.
I'll tell you what, it is so great. You see, I see exactly what you people at home see when we come back from a commercial segment. It's always just great fun for me to sit here and watch the audience in total happiness. Applauding, doing that. That's great. Thank you all very much. All right, it's time now. I remember in Rush Limbaugh, your bridge over troubled waters, the Buchanan Ball Express is rolling on. I want to show you some B-roll. We call this video without sound to it. Here's Pat at the OK Corral, dressed up purposely in a black hat. He says he's one of the bad guys and he wants to always be dressed up in the black hat. Now watch this scene. He's holding his gun at a gun show, and he's pointing this thing. Eventually, he'll point it at a reporter, and he hands it to his wife, Shelley, and she's right there. She starts pointing at the reporter. That's as much tape as we have. And then she eventually drew it up and actually looked down the barrel of it as though she would. It turned out that it was aimed right at Stephen Braun of the Los Angeles Times. And he said to, obviously he looked very scared because Buchanan said to his wife, honey, don't point that at the Los Angeles Times, and then started roaring with a bunch of laughter. Well, Braun has written a piece about how unnerving it was to have a gun pointed at him. I know, tug the heartstring. I kid you not. And it's there's the piece right here. I'm holding it in my formerly nicotine-stained fingers. And he goes on to talk about how the banter between Buchanan and his aides and the daily growing press caravan has created a shared vein of black humor and grudging respect, rarely in evidence around the other Republican campaigns. It's not really that bad an article. And this is the final couple paragraphs. It says, after the candidate in black ducked into a corral shed to slip out of his dude's duds, I reminded him in mock protest that he had placed me in the crossfire, as he often threatens to do with Bill Clinton. Buchanan, as ever, was unrepentant about his and his wife's aim. Quote, it was the temptation of the devil that we resisted. So he's looking at his guy with the press. If the devil was making me shoot you, pal, but I resisted the temptation of the devil. Otherwise, you wouldn't be around to write your piece. So they're having fun out there, and they're mocking the press and they're mocking their critics. In fact, Buchanan is even good with his hecklers. He was being heckled by a bunch of arts and croissant wimps when he was out here at this, you know, the NEA crowd. And listen to how it went. This is hilarious. Watch this.
And the endowment for the arts. The endowment for the arts, folks, back there. All that sacrilegious, nasty, obscene art, you're going to have to pay for it yourselves.
Wait. Hold on. I want you to hear this. I want you to hold on.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out of the White House one day over to your little endowment for the arts. I'm going to shut it down, padlock it, and I'm going to fumigate the building.
Yes! Yes! Come on! Yes! Absolutely right. Whoa, what happened here? Absolutely right. Who does this sound like to you? Patton is right. Who said Patton? George Patton. It sounds just like George Patton used to speak. And for those of you who have heard him speak, it just, and I'm going to walk out, and I'm going to padlock it, I'm going to fumigate the building. And it places, you know, I saw a poll the other day. A lot of people think Buchanan support is coming from people who are very upset with what's happening in the trade area of this country. Most of his supporters are not, a lot of them are, but not of that bent, but really are social, cultural people who are worried about the decline of the morality in the country, which is why a line like that gets a huge response. Quickly, Vladimir Zhirinovsky, this madman in Russia, you know, endorsed Buchanan last week, and Pat rejected the endorsement. And one of the things Zhirinovsky said he wanted to join him in doing was deporting Jews. I mean, Zhirinovsky is a wacko. So Pat says, "No thanks, pal. I'm not for you." This story ran in the New York Daily News today. Russian Paul hurt by Pat rejection. Zhirinovsky fired off another letter to Buchanan after his endorsement had been rejected. And he wrote, "You are crap, Pat." No, don't. It's right here. I wouldn't say this, folks, unless I were quoting somebody. Zhirinovsky wrote, "You are crap, Pat. You filled your pants as soon as you got my congratulations." Who are you afraid of, Zionists? Just get the expletive out of here, and there I was thinking you were defending the interests of your country. Oh, man, I tell you. This guy's a serious candidate over there. You know, he's bringing Gorbachev out of retirement. Now, let me... Well, he is. Gorbachev's thinking of running, and the birthmark's shrinking a little bit. It'll be less of a distraction. Let's see. I got to do this one thing. I know we're running short of time here, but I want to show you a piece from the debate last Thursday in Arizona. This is Steve Forbes. And my friends, this, if somebody had been consistently saying this, taking this position during this entire primary campaign, then it would have been much better. We'd have been much better positioned to beat Clinton, and there wouldn't have been as much dogfight. Just listen to what Forbes says here.
I can beat President Clinton for a very simple reason. President Clinton is a man who has to get up each morning, read the polls to see what he's supposed to believe that day. There is no core to the man. I have a vibrant vision for the future. I've put specific proposals for getting America again on the table. I want to return opportunity, responsibility, power, control back to the American people. That vision is going to beat Bill Clinton, who has no real vision. Clinton is the enemy, ladies and gentlemen. Clinton is the opponent, and that's the kind of rhetoric. If all the people in this debate were adopting that position, then the Republican Party would be loved. People would be running to us in droves. And it's still not too late for this to happen. It's doubtful that it will, but at least hope Forbes keeps up with the same approach. We'll be back with more right after this.
Yes, it's coming to me. Just a moment. Hello, happy psychic helpers. Oh, yeah, I see a lot in your future, lady.
Have you called those other psychic lines only to be left with an empty feeling? Well, you deserve better. Call the Psychic Readers Network and speak to a psychic who really cares. We believe our psychics are the best, and to prove it, we want you to try us for free. That's right. Call now and you'll get a free sample reading with one of our gifted psychics.
When I heard about the free reading, I just had to call.
My psychic clued right into me. It was the best reading I ever had.
It was remarkably accurate and very helpful.
For answers to your questions about love, money, and your future, speak to a true psychic. Call now for your free sample reading.
You get a free reading, why wouldn't you call?
My psychic was very good. She led me right into promotion at work that I didn't even know about.
Hello, this is the Leo. Oh, the Aquarian. Oh, yeah, I knew that. Hang on.
Why call one of those other psychics when you can try us for free? Call now for your free reading.
Call 1-800-770-1998.
Oh, man. Don't.
While people everywhere attempt to honor the pancake, those who'd rather enjoy them come to IHOP, because nobody celebrates pancakes like we do. And this week, get our buttermilk pancakes, all you can eat for just $1.99. So leave the pancakes to us. And the only thing you'll have to clean is your plate.
I could not believe it. It was really fun.
That psychic was amazing.
The Psychic Solution challenged us to test their psychics and see just how real they are. So we asked people on the street to try a free sample psychic reading.
Then she described what I wanted and said it was just around the corner.
Now I know why everyone's calling the Psychic Solution.
As soon as I get home, I'm calling my psychic again.
There's the proof. So do something for yourself. Make the free call and get your free psychic reading now.
Call 1-800-806-5029.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh day. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
All right, folks, welcome back. I want to show you what's going on in Washington. There are things happening there despite everybody's attention being distracted elsewhere. You remember the president said he was all for the Senate version of the welfare and Medicare reform bills, and actually the governors had their conference in Washington, and a unanimous decision to support the Senate version. They wrote some moderate changes to it, but it was basically the Senate version. And Clinton went to speak to the governors after they'd done it, said, you guys did a bang-up job. This is great. We can all live with this. We can all work with it. Look at this headline in the New York Times today. White House criticizes plan for welfare. There are no changes since Clinton said he liked it. Governor's proposal is called insufficient. Now, the documents that they have released that list their opposition to this suggest that the administration has decided to pursue a two-track strategy, making vague, favorable comments about the governor's intentions while objecting to many important details of the proposals. It's just more smoke and mirrors. It's more sham. It's more lying. It's more saying, yeah, that's a good idea, I'm supporting it. The White House is a lone wolf on this. This is bipartisan. 18 of these governors that signed onto this thing are Democrats. It's time for states' rights. It's time to end the federal guaranteed entitlement to welfare. It is destroying people's lives. The president has said that he wants to reform welfare and end it as we know it, but obviously he doesn't mean what he says, and this is just another glaring example of it. And it's time this get pointed out, because this is the kind of stuff people in this primary campaign ought to be pointing out and running against instead of tearing themselves apart. I want to show you Clinton from the governor's meeting where he talked about how much he liked this, just so you'll know it's not me making it up. Watch this.
And I believe we're going to pass welfare reform legislation, and I think when you take a stand here today saying that we ought to the Senate bill was a good bill, I thought, and I thought far superior on most points to the one that came out of the conference that I vetoed. But it had some problems, and the biggest one for most states was the child care problem. You have addressed that here. And you have said, okay, be tough on people, make them go to work, but don't ask them to hurt their children. That's all any American could ever ask.
That's all anybody could ask, and they did it, and now all of a sudden they're back asking for more. It just means they don't want any of this settled or solved at any time soon for whatever political reasons. Final segment's coming up right after this break, so stay with us.
She wanted to remember the love they shared for butter, but cholesterol took away their passion until...
I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter. The taste you love without the cholesterol.
What a work of art.
Did you pack my Sensodyne?
We're on vacation.
My sensitive teeth aren't. My dentist said, don't forget the Sensodyne.
Would I forget your Sensodyne?
No pain.
No problem.
Remember Sensodyne and forget the pain.
You are looking at happy people. Why are they happy people? They are happy because they are reading the Limbaugh letter. This site really scares liberals. Look at them. They are optimistic, confident, well-informed people.
Call 800-796-4200. Get 1 year of the Limbaugh letter and this hilarious Clinton parody audio cassette for only $29.95. Call 800-796-4200.
This is really great.
I know. I wrote it.
The mob made it personal.
You do what you have to do.
Doesn't bring her back. The cops made it official.
They want your badge. Self-defense.
Doesn't matter. We broke the rules. But the scales of justice have a way of balancing out.
Can you help me?
Yeah. Because Max Swift is coming back with a vengeance. And this time, he's dishing out his own brand of punishment. Swift Justice.
Premiering Wednesday, March 13th at 9 on UPN 20.
We have consumers who call in with HMOs or PPOs, and in most cases, those consumers have a list of doctors that they are working from. We can do a search and use that HMO or PPO as one of the criteria, come up with doctors who actually work with that insurance and help match you up to that practitioner. We have got it all updated right on the system.
No matter how you're insured, Prologue can help you find the right doctor or dentist. Call 1-800-DOCTORS. The call is free. The service is free.
This is Prologue. May I help you find a doctor or a dentist?
A lot of times people call in and they're not sure what information that we need.
Is there any fever?
A lot of times folks don't even know the questions that they need to ask.
Is this your first pregnancy? We guide the patient through a series of questions.
What insurance do you have?
Is there a particular hospital you'd like?
You can really get down to what it is that you
say you want a female doctor? Weekend hours.
Wheelchair access.
The counselor can spend as long as it takes to make a good match.
We are experts at providing you with information so that you can make the choice that's best for you.
Call 1-800-DOCTORS.
UN schools are teaching us to read so we can learn to teach others.
They have helped us build our businesses so we can build our own prosperity.
They watched over our elections so we could freely vote our consciences.
This year, on the UN's 50th anniversary, help the UN do its best work even better. Join the United Nations Association.
We asked some people on the streets of New York today what they would change most about politics. Here's what we found.
If you could change one thing about American politics, what would it be?
Campaign financing, the ruination of the political system.
Truth in advertising.
Good point.
Each candidate should be held strictly accountable to whatever he says.
I think I would turn the focus back on the topics that they have control over in legislation rather than the candidate's personal history, things like that.
I would change the results of the 1992 election. George Bush would have been the winner.
Yep, nice goal for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to another sad conclusion. Sad only because the conclusion is here. But we'll be back with another show in 23.5 hours. See you then. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
Conair's amazing anti-static dryer eliminates static. Leaves hair manageable, easier than ever to style.
When Robin Leach says garlic, he's not speaking French. He's talking about the most potent garlic tablet there is. Garlic brand garlic. 1 per day and odor-free. Garlic. Quit chewing tobacco with Mint Snuff All Mint Chew. Mint Snuff is made from mint, not tobacco. For a store near you, call 1-800-EAT-MINT. Now available at Sam's Club. Melatonex, the only time-release melatonin tablet. Melatonex for sound, natural sleep. All night, every night. Make sure it ends with an X. Melatonex.